They know I got them vibes, so you know them fans watching me.
They in my chat with the shit. Oh, they must think they can stop me. See, we got Rod on the scope. Now don't get sniped out the lobby.
Is not on me now. Tell me what do you see?
We send them out to the nation. LIP in our blood. We in the sky with this shit. Just think it came out.
See, it's 99% cap, 1% gameplay, 100% vibe. Don't bring that bullshit my way. Try your luck, go against the vibe. When you fuck, you gon' think on my grave with the way I make them tighten up. You'll be lucky if you even score. You should read more, though I choose to live in peace. You should know I bleed war. I'm a recon man, one of the best in the sport. I keep a drone on my hip, I let it out to explore. They say the ops on the way. I see one, I know it's more. They just ran inside a building, my EMP gon' deploy. Make them panic, play support. Crypto going mad, they tryna figure out how I do assault damage. Real just mark the surroundings, I know they can't stand it. Morosky sending out his ghost and they don't understand it. I'm headed to the high ground to get an overstanding. Now you from a distance, see your partners, they done left you stranded. Damn, you know you headed to the lobby, right? Sorry for your awful fight, I admit it was easy. Get you some practice or you always die. I know you doing that ping thing, they gone, made it out of sniper range. Level 1 knockdown shield, been 7 minutes in the fucking game, I'm devoted. Hit you with the devotion, hear it wind up, quick motion. Now I'm headed with the wind to your partners, but I'm focused. See, Goat just hit that beast on the hunt. Ghost is ghost, we reloaded, blow the EMP and we done. They know I got them vibes, so you know them fans watching me.
Nano, talk to me.
Oh, they must think they can stop me. See, we got Rod on the scope. Now don't get sniped out the lobby.
Is not on me now. Tell me what do you see?
We send them out to the nation. LIP in our blood. We in the sky with this shit. Just think it came out the mud.
Yo, what's poppin'? We back. It's been a minute, man. We ain't been in the shop in a few days, man. Hope everybody have a blessed day. We out here. Ain't really much been going on outside of the Knicks tape, and then you know the social media storms about whatever's going on in the news today. I'm pretty sure a lot of people have been having quiet conversations about the situation, but it's time for us to hop in the shop and get to it. The Karmelo Anthony case with him and Austin Metcalf. It's a lose-lose situation, man. We got one kid has lost their life and one kid's life has been 35 years. We're gonna see if this case more than likely gets retried, if it goes to the highest court of the land, and under a different scope. What can we learn from this situation? I think is the important part of the conversation. Matt Peoples, Tyler Sage, what's poppin'? Nano in the building. Let me toss up that sticker, man. We gotta throw that God first sticker in the chat first and foremost. So I think we definitely gonna have some Big Jeff Statman. What's good? So before the end of this month, before we get started, I'm going to be organizing my content. Took this summer and the spring doing the thrifting content. I think that's gonna be pushed to its own page. We're gonna, as we get closer to football season in the fall, definitely gonna have my football content be like the bulk of the shop talk and separate that where it could be where it needs to be at. I think that's gonna be fun. And I'm also going to take the shop talks onto the audio files. If people like to listen to audio versions of podcasts, where it goes on Spotify, Apple, Amazon and iHeart. I've never done that before, so that's something I want to try, to put out the audio versions of the pod, as well as we've grown to YouTube slowly but surely where we needed to get, and just this new phase of Facebook to see where it's going. He said, B Walker, what it do, player? Said, how I been? Man, been working out. Did some yard work yesterday. Been thrifting every day, putting that content out, and just really taking a mental break from the meat and potatoes. What about you though? Enjoying the last 10 minutes of my break, hour and a half left in the work week. It is Friday, TGIF, man. Hope the work day is going good out there in Tejas. I know if it's 95 here, I know it's got to be 105 in Texas. Y'all seen Facebook and Meta hit by outages, but you know, y'all are the community. I definitely, Ronald, what up? I definitely wanted to have this conversation. Is one that I have been thinking about, and it's been on my mind to put my thoughts and feelings out. 103 in Atlanta, good God. Like, y'all was cutting grass, it was 95 yesterday, and I just kind of knew, like, it's a different level of heat. We at 88, feels like 90 right now. Yeah, when you get out, if you ain't in the shade, you're gonna get cooked. But, you know, onto the topic of, I'd like to hear what some of y'all think about the situation, and I try to put myself in the put myself in the shoes of this situation of, like, this is a situation that has turned into a race situation that should be left at a bullying level. We dealing with kids. We don't want kids to lose their life, and we don't want kids to do life in prison. What can we learn from this situation? When you just break the situation down to, if kids are going to have an altercation, this is the first thing I thought. What if when they jump, if they jumped him and he doesn't have a weapon, and they beat him and he dies from his injuries later? Is it a murder case? Is it a manslaughter case? How are we looking at it? Where are the adults at? What adult doesn't step in when kids have an issue that could lead to an altercation? Because the more and more they dig, we're going to see that the type of lawyer that Young Thug and them have, and Brian Steele, is somebody who should have been taking a case for Karmelo Anthony in a high profile situation, that you find out that the knife is a Swiss Army knife. Changes the dynamic of why he would have this knife. Where's the video? Why haven't this video leaked? Why haven't we heard anything from the other kids in the city? Why does this thing, like, stink on both sides? That it's a lot to this case that haven't been out. Obviously, not having any black jurors on the jury panel of 12. It's a few things that just makes this just not sit well with me. That in my mind, if this would have been a fight between these kids at school, and let's say Austin would have knocked out Karmelo and he died, I don't think anybody says murder. You think it's a fight, it's manslaughter. The kid stabs the kid, it's a 2-inch wound, which this is a 2-inch wound, and he runs to the coach and he cries and he says, is he gonna be okay? I don't think this is in a small town, this is a situation where anybody meant for this to happen. I think that it's turned into something because of this country's history and the history of the South that's gonna make people immediately go one way or another. And I just didn't see that if this kid was found guilty of this situation, there wouldn't be a 35-year murder put over his head to basically say, like, it's over for you. That's just a tough one to swallow when he was not the initial aggressor to the situation. This is not a gun violence case. This is not taking a gun to school. This is not a gun violence issue. This is a stabbing. And it's not a multiple stabbing. It's not a crime of passion. It is to the point that we all wish that, like, when they jumped him, if he stabbed this kid and this kid didn't die, he just had a bad wound. Because when I see self-defense, and then you have the Shotbybuddha situation going on right now, which is 2 adults and a gun involved, and these are kids, and then you look in the situation of another adult self-defense case that's high profile is All-Star JR, of him getting robbed for his chain, getting jumped, losing his watch. You have thousands of dollars in jewelry ripped off of you. A gun hits the ground. He picks the gun up. He returns fire. And now he's the felon in possession in a federal case of a firearm. Like, sometimes, like, we just get into a point where, like, what do we trust about the legal system? Like, if you defend yourself, you could go to jail forever. If you don't defend yourself, you can be killed. So I don't know. This is a slippery slope that we on. But I want to hear what y'all think about it. I've been how we want to take. Yeah, you gotta drink some water, bro. Rich. From personal experience, I went to trial in Collier County and Fort Richards County in Texas. It's not an easy case. I know it's not, because it's Texas, and Texas is a republic. It is not a state. Texas and California laws play different, so it's interesting to see when you take everything away from it. Just looking at the case of how can they take this situation and use it as a teaching tool for other kids around the country, which I've encountered some young high school kids that are in sports now, and like, they don't even talk about it. It's not even a thing. I think this should be a teaching point of my personal experiences growing up with bullies is, you know, what were you taught? Okay, if some kids jump on you, pick up anything and hit them with it. You know, if somebody want to fight you, don't come home, go back outside, defend yourself, throw hands. If you lose, you lose. You know, these are things that we all grew up dealing with. I think this is more of a bullying issue. How do you respond to bullies? Because this is starting to be the thing of, we grew up in an era where people throw hands. Now it's in the era of, oh, you gonna bully me, I'm going to shoot you. You bully me, I'm going to stab you. And it should teach kids to leave their hands to themselves in that situation. I just don't know why the tape to the actual incident hasn't leaked. If I was part of the defense for Karmelo Anthony, this tape would be all over the internet. I don't care what the repercussions is. I would leak the tape and let people see the situation, how it exactly unfolded and played out. Because something just feels off to me that a situation like this has happened and we don't have any video leaked out, and there's no kids all over Snapchat or all over TikTok saying what they think about this case. Mo, what's good? Q, what's poppin', my boy? Corey, it's just a situation that's like, when you look at all these high profile cases next to each other, you put the biggest consequence on the youngest set of people, and then the older set of people, it's up for debate. You know what I'm saying? So even in the All-Star JR situation where you getting robbed, you getting beat by multiple people, a mob of people is coming at you, a gun hits the ground, you return fire. What are you supposed to do? Just let them pick the gun up and shoot you? Like, in this situation, when we're talking about a small track kid and 2 bigger kids that are known for fighting, that have been suspended for fighting, that have broken bones in their own father, do you just get stomped out? You know what I'm saying? Like, do you just get stomped out and it makes people feel better that you just got stomped out? Or in my mind, thinking about a kid at the time, how I was is, man, we used to have Hell Week. The 7th graders used to come to school and the 8th graders would beat the hell out of the 7th graders and jump them for a whole week at Forest Hills. When I got to high school, the freshmen had Hell Week. And Hell Week, people was getting stuffed in lockers, wedgies, put in headlocks, beat, getting their lunch taken. and all you been hearing about is like, yo, this such and such kid or this such and such kid, and in your mind you thinking, man, not me. But then going forward, I look in my life and think about Chance Thompson, who was bullied when we was kids, killed somebody when we was in adults. It was self-defense, and he got off. His baby mama's ex-baby daddy, ex-boyfriend, whatever, was violent, coming to do something to him, and he returned fire and killed him. But it's like, that's the mentality is, man, if I can defend myself, you're not finna play with me. So then you look at one of the people that used to bully him growing up, Scarf, like went to jail, did 15 for killing somebody. So like, these are things that don't go away as an adult. So it's like, how do you put these two kids when they're in situations of, this is a situation where I felt like they're going to retry the case. It's going to drop down to manslaughter. You got to rehabilitate Karmelo. You can't throw his life away. And then the civil suits is going to hit. I think the civil suits probably going to hit the school board, because what coach allows this to happen? And when those text messages and those phones come out, if a coach had told them to respond a certain way and then this happened, it's lack of institutional control. This just a bad situation. Like, there are really no winners in this situation. Jay Frank, Mr. Swerve, he said, my little boy a killer. My thing is why the parents had him go to trial. But you gotta go to trial. I mean, this is my thing. Like, put yourself in that position, Tone. A lot of us have kids. I have 2 daughters. Okay, let's say you got a son, Tone. At school, it's some 6'2", 6'3". We're gonna use here so we can take the race out of it. You in Birmingham, your kids in Birmingham city schools, and your kid go to Woodlawn High, or your kid go to West End, go to Parker. It's some big dudes that's been beating people up at school. What do you tell your son when he goes to school? When you send him to football practice, basketball practice, track practice? I got to hear this answer. What do you tell your kid if your kid is at home at the dinner table saying, yo, it's some dudes, Big J and Big K, man, they be choking, whooping folks. They done been suspended last week for beating somebody up. They messing with me, daddy. What do you tell your kid? What do you tell your kid when they go to school? Like, what do you tell them? I need to hear this. This is no right or wrong answers. Chat, I want to know what you tell your high school student who's a smaller kid that's getting bullied by some bigger kids that intend on jumping him. What do you tell them when you go to school? I had to hug my son tight. It's a sad situation, Corey. Why bully somebody in the first place? Because you have things going on at home. Like, when we look back at it, the kids that make fun of other kids, the kids that bully kids, it's usually kids that got something going on at home, and they bring that dynamic to school. I've seen it with my kids. You know, I ain't gonna speak on no personal situations like that, because it could, you know, I don't know who be watching my stuff that I don't want it to affect my kids. But I can speak on my own personal self that, like, my older cousins that had situations going on in the home life, or my older brother or myself, man, we going through a divorce at home. Some little kid playing with me at school, I might slap him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I might knock his lunch off the table. Like, I'm frustrated. You know what I'm saying? Y'all remember when I broke my hand? I'm a grown man. When I broke my hand hitting on the table, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was dealing with the grief of my grandma dying, and I didn't know how to process it. I was just mad. I hit something. I broke my hand. You know, like, those kids was going through a divorce. They had already beat their daddy up. You going to school, you just mad. You young and you mad. Like, the thought process of a young person is not conflict resolution. Like, we'll talk things out. Is, man, you can't whoop me. Let's throw hands then. You could be on the basketball court and somebody can't stop you from scoring points, and somebody might fight you because they can't stop you in basketball. Like, these are things that happen when you're young. It says Seahawks Titans exciting joint practice. We had Seahawks Titans practice a few years ago. He said kick him in the nuts, he'll leave you alone. But you saying kick him. It's two of them. All right. So here are two boys that are 6'2", 6'3", 225 pounds in high school that are trained MMA fighters that's been beating niggas up at school. You telling your son kick him in the nuts. Okay. Well, it's 3 or 4 of them in the tent. They got you blocked off where you can't get out. They finna jump you. You gonna kick one of them in the nuts and the other 3 finna stomp you out. And when he get up, he gonna stomp you for kicking him in the nuts. Okay. Your kid comes home with the black eye. He's got to go back to school. Next day at school, what do you tell your son that multiple kids jumped on him at school? Because you're talking about one person, Tone. Multiple kids that are bigger than your son are coming to jump him. What are you sending him to school with outside of kick him in the nuts? Okay, kick him in the nuts didn't work. He got jumped on. Defend yourself. Don't allow it. Got to put the hands on them. Hurt people, hurt people. Thank you, Corey. Got multiple back-to-back, so they all going to be in the box of that situation. KT2 to go. What up? I definitely wouldn't tell them to kill him. Use something to defend yourself or just enough to leave you alone. Okay, Ronald. All right. Let's say in my day, you might pick up a stick. You might pick up a rock. Okay, you get in jump. It's 2-3 kids on you. You pick up a rock and you hit one and they die. That's what we're dealing with. I'm just putting this in perspective of I've been in this situation myself before and I know how it goes. People used to be scared to go in the bathroom during Hell Week because you could get jumped and stomped out in the bathroom. You don't want to go in the bathroom during Hell Week when they jumping people. You want to stay out in the open so at least when you getting jumped, you can swing your backpack, you can fight people off, you can run if you got to. You can get out of there. You're trapped in a tent. It's 3 or 4 people finna jump you. What do? Y'all talking about kicking in the nuts and talking about trying to, how do you get somebody up off you that's way bigger than you, that's a trained fighter, and 3 or 4 of them are going to jump you? What do you do? I'm asking questions because as adults, I don't like y'all answers that y'all giving me. So I'm 43. Some of y'all in y'all 20s and 30s. If you 16, 17 and you a junior or senior in high school, think about the advice that y'all giving somebody who finna get jumped by somebody bigger than him. Kick him in the nuts. Pick something up and he did pick something up to get them off. He just didn't intend to kill him. Yo, if I cut one of y'all, maybe y'all will stop jumping me. I get suspended from school. They take the knife. I get suspended for the track meet. Cool. I ain't get choked out. Now, we talking about kids that already done beat their daddy ass and already done whooped other kids in the school. So we're not talking about somebody who you don't know what's about to happen to you. So we just talking through this. There's no right or wrong answer, but I'm trying to see where y'all head is at. I'm pulling up and making sure they are aware. I'm also teaching my son how to defend himself. Let him know that those kids have hurting him. I had bullies until I straight up had to fight them. But they ain't mess with me no more. And Jay Frank, you're bigger than me. I've met you in person. Shout out to my dog Jay Frank. I done met Jay Frank in person. Jay Frank is bigger than me. I'm 6'1", 230. Jay Frank is like 6'3", 240. So you saying you defending yourself, it ain't that many people you're gonna run across that's bigger than you. I'm talking about Jay Frank. Imagine being like 5'7", 140 pounds. And me, Jay Frank, me and you gonna jump somebody that's rich black man size. How does Rich approach us that it's me and you coming to jump him? And that's the conversation that we having. Like you said, kids think differently and things can easily get out of hand once a month. That's what I'm saying, Mo. It's 3 or 4 people coming. They're all bigger than you. They known for putting hands on people. You already know they done whooped their daddy. So just calling your daddy might not even work. That these boys done whooped their daddy already. So that's the point that I'm getting to. Where is the coaches? Where is the coach that's saying, yo, we got a situation. Hey, you go over here. You go over here. The coaches I had in high school, Coach Morgan was like a 6'5" corn-fed white boy. Coach Johnson was like a 6'5" big black power forward in college basketball, was big, Like I'm talking about like all my coaches was like larger than life coaches. Like they'll snatch you up. You know what I'm saying? So where's these coaches at? It's a tough situation, Nano. DeAndre said, pick up anything close and defend yourself. Now, he picked up something close and he defended himself. He just didn't mean for the kid to die. He didn't go with the weapon saying, I'm going to get this kid. If this kid get me, I'm going to do X, Y, Z. It was, these kids is jumping me. I hit one of them to get them up off me. I didn't mean for him to die. That's not murder. That's not 35 years. Because the situation don't happen if they don't come to jump you. Because the part that they leave out about being in the tent is all the same kids was in the same tent the week before. But who's the missing parties? The two brothers, who are obviously the biggest, toughest ringleaders to this situation in a smaller area, a smaller town. Still doesn't warrant them dying. This is more of an unfortunate situation that I would teach my kids. See, you going to jump, you going to fight, you could lose your life going to hurt somebody because scared people will kill you. You scare somebody, that might be the person that hit you with something, shoot you or stab you because they're in fear of what you'll do to them. Then the bully become the victim. And that's the situation we dealing with. Somebody came to have an altercation and wound up getting hurt. He said a rock and a knife. No, it's not. A rock and a knife is not two different things because we're talking about a Swiss Army knife that all them kids have. If I hit you with a brick, you and three other people jumping me and I hit you with a brick, it's going to be blunt force trauma. More people die from blunt force trauma, stabbings and cuttings than they do from guns. See how it works? I know in your mind you think gun, you think a stick. No, more people die in murders. Usually it comes from homicides, usually are blunt force trauma. So if I pick something up and I hit you with it, reason why I know is I got a cousin that was involved in a fight that kicked somebody in the head and he got this situation put on him from a fight. You're grabbing something. Do you know if the brick or the rock is sharp? Do you know if you hit them and they go unconscious? Maybe you swing and they miss and they fall and hit their head. Y'all remember the girl a few years ago that fell and hit her head and the girl was like paralyzed from the way she fell and she was the one swinging? You can't control how it go once you start a fight. Like we've seen people die in a boxing ring that was trained fighters that just got hit a certain way. That's why when you a boxer or MMA fighter, you register your hands. Your hands are considered weapons. These two boys, the one that died, are trained MMA fighters. Their hands are registered. They are literal weapons. So that's what I'm getting at. Adrian Broner, like I don't like the content that him and Dean, the great, do. If AB get drunk and hit somebody, he can kill them from a punch. In his sloppy drunk state, AB could punch one of us and one of us could die, or we could fall the wrong way and die. So this is not like he took a gun to school. This is 3-4 people jumping on me. I cut one of them and they died. Yes, Jay Frank. And that's why you have these little dudes out here with these switches. Because they're not going to let nobody jump or play on them. I didn't say not go to jail, Tone. I said manslaughter. So y'all got to listen to me. I'm not saying not go to jail. I'm saying this case, if the boys that jumped Karmelo would have killed him, it wouldn't be murder. It would be manslaughter. This is 35 years for a high school kid who is defending himself in a fight from multiple people. This not a one-on-one and he cut him. This not he ran up on him and hit him or snuffed him. This is I'm sitting down. Y'all got me blocked off where I can't leave. Y'all about to jump me and I ain't finna let y'all jump me. Boom, I hit one of y'all. One of y'all just happened to have a fatal wound. This is not him spraying a gun. It's not a drive-by. This is y'all jumping me. I hit one of y'all with something and you died. That's a manslaughter case. That is not murder. I'd be terrified of it, Ronald, because I got kids. If y'all got kids, you know when you send your child on that bus on that school, anything can happen. Like anything can happen when you send your kids to school or you send your kids out. I've been a part of it, putting myself in a situation of when there was bullies in my city. I can remember being involved in dumb shit like, yo, your brother whooped this person. Yo, I've been riding my bike and somebody like, man, your brother just shot at this person. I'm like, what? These are the type of things you got to deal with. I'm walk the neighborhood. You a kid, man. If this person got an issue with my brother, if they see me or they see my cousin or my homeboy, I'm probably gonna have to fight too. There's been times in my college age where I've seen somebody get beat to the point that they was damn near paralyzed at a UAB party. I've told y'all the story. Being in La Casina, some bloods tried to jump me in the bathroom. You see what I'm saying? One of my homeboys got sent to the hospital. He was laid out in the middle of the street on 10th Street. I got up out the bathroom. I told y'all how I got up out the bathroom. The little nigga on the door got the business. I got out. If they would have caught me in that bathroom, all I would have had was swinging that bottle. So boom, what if I hit one of them with the bottle and cut them and they died? Is that murder? Or am I defending myself because there's 4 or 5 bloods in the bathroom about to jump me in a reggae club in downtown Birmingham? Is that murder or is it manslaughter because I'm defending myself? Is it self-defense? I didn't have to hit them with the bottle, but the niggas didn't have to jump me in the bathroom. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's what we dealing with, and not as a grown person. We talking about kids in high school. Man, Mo. She was popping. That's what I'm saying. Jay Frank, as big as we are, if it's rich black men, we about to jump him. If Rich hit us with a stick or tase one of us or cut one of us or even shoot one of us, like, he's not wrong. Because all he could think about, if these big niggas get me on the ground and stomp me out, shit gonna be bad. Ronald say, run for your life. He couldn't run. He boxed in a tent. It's raining outside. They got every entrance covered. Where you going? That's what I'm saying, Mo. He's not the aggressor to the situation. So I don't know if they won't let you run, they won't let you leave. They got you cornered. Their intention is to put hands on you. Even if he would have hit him with a chair, what if he hit him with a chair and get a boy a concussion and the boy fell funny and died from the fall? Like, it's no different. When you pick up something and hit somebody, you don't know what's gonna happen to them. How you pick up a knife and expect nobody not to die? Tone. How many people do you know been cut? Tory Lanez got stabbed 14 times in the jail. He's not dead. One of my brother's good friends got killed. He's on a crime TV show. His name is Brianni Rutland. If you go search it up, he was stabbed 80 times. He was still fighting after being stabbed 80 times. Most times people get stabbed unless you going bow tie ear to ear. People is not dying adrenaline off an initial cut. It just happened to be I cut one of them and they died. You could nick an artery. A person could. People kill themselves. They slit their wrist. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people get cut and don't die, bro. Like, I would say 90% of people get cut don't die. You cutting somebody because you don't have a gun, and if I hit you with a brick, I want you to stand still and tell me, you want me to slash cut you, or you want me to crash you in the head with a brick or a bottle or a lamp, or I pick up a pole or a baseball bat and hit you over the head with it. Like, anytime you hit somebody or you have a fight, somebody can die. This is how this works. We seen football players get hit playing football and die. You didn't intend to kill the person. People get hit with football pads and helmet on and die just from the contact. So when you do contact or you initiate a fight, you can get hurt. People need to learn to stop messing with people. Going to catch somebody wrong on the day when they hit their breaking point and shit hit the fan. KT, the point of is, why don't Austin Metcalf and his brother go get the coach and tell the coach to make him leave? Why don't they go get a teacher? Why don't they go get the SRO officer? Why don't, my daughter's school is Officer Sam's. Let's go get Officer Sam's and let him deal with this. No, you've been known to put hands and beat people up, and you thought you could whoop this boy. And when you went to whoop him, he cut you. He didn't intend for you to die, but that's just part of it. And you'll keep saying knife instead of saying multi-tool. If you're from the country, you probably grew up with a little Swiss Army knife or a pocket tool. Some people use those things to take their cleats off and do all kind of stuff. Where I'm at, if you ask somebody for a screwdriver, they're probably going to hand you a knife to open up the screw or the nail with a knife before they go get a screwdriver. It's just a thing, bro. That's why it wasn't illegal for him to have what he had. It was a multi-tool. It wasn't like some big Rambo hunting Bowie knife, like he going on a melee on Rambo 1, First Blood in the Jungle. It's not that. It's a 2-inch wound. This is a 2-inch wound. This is a 2-inch wound. You see what I'm saying? So it's a small knife. It just hit the wrong way. Everything is a weapon. I mean, let's go biblical. Let's say David and Goliath. Goliath is the giant. He's a Nephilim. He show up. David, the shepherd boy, throw a rock and hit Goliath. Goliath die. We all see that in the Bible. Nah, that ain't manslaughter. That ain't self-defense. It's murder. David is like, wait, Goliath is going to crush me and snap my neck. I just watched him kill a bunch of people. I hit him with the slingshot. Nah, this is, David, you got to go to jail, bro. Like, that's what we saying. Like, my thing is like, what do you send your kid to school to do? For sure, stat man. If he wouldn't have went to the trial, the sentence would have been like 7 years. But if you feel your kid is innocent and you going to say, man, there's no way that they're gonna remove all the black jurors. There's no way that everybody involved in the case, from the DA to the warden of the jail to the judge, all these people are friends. There's no way that we haven't seen the videotape. There's no way that none of the kids haven't spoke out about the incident on social media. You thinking in your mind, man, my kids finna go get exonerated of all charges. Like, they finna see that this is self-defense. At worst, my kid finna get time served. This finna be a split. Nobody finna send their kid to jail for 7 years and take a plea when like, you sit in and watch Young Thug and all them walk off of bodies. You watch Zimmerman walk off a body. The Chinese man that killed the little boy at the gas station walking off a body. You don't think somebody finna give your kid 35 years when some kids come to jump him for defending himself. That's why you don't. So I'm asking you as a parent, are any of y'all gonna let y'all kid take a 7-year sentence at 17 when you feel like they ain't in the wrong? I don't as a parent, I don't think I could get any of y'all to honestly say that. Back of the bus ridiculous. Stevie B. Son been in jiu-jitsu for a year. I done seen a little skinny boy be too big of my own eyes. He knew MMA. But it's the thing though, Tom. So let's say somebody know that your son know how to fight. And your son got 3 or 4 kids with him. And next kid gets scared and pick up something and hit your son with it. And your son fall out and he gone. What do you say? That's what we're talking about. We're talking about two, like, this is what I'm saying. These are 2 kids that's 6'2", 6'3", 225 in high school. So take like Josh Allen or Tim Tebow in high school. Take Josh Allen and let me put this where y'all can see it. Josh Allen and Tim Tebow, and they both know MMA, and they got Aaron Hernandez and Riley Cooper with them. They're coming to jump your son. Your son is 5'6", 5'7", 120 pounds. That's the situation we're talking about. Carmelo Anthony could have known black belt, purple belt, green quadruple belt. 4 or 5 people that big, bro. What are you really doing? You might get one. The rest of them is punch stomping you out. DeAndre, they let these ambulance chasers and these civil rights people suck the money up. Carmelo Anthony should have had a Brian Steele type of lawyer. He should have had a Brian Steele type of lawyer defending him in this case. That's what I'm saying, Ronald. Even if we go outside and I trip one of y'all with my foot and y'all fall funny and die, it's the same. Anything can be viewed as a weapon. I could pick up anything in this room and hit y'all with blunt force trauma. It is the same. We're not talking. That's why I said, but in the beginning, we're not talking about gun violence. We're talking about a stick, a rock, a brick, a knife, a baseball bat, anything you pick up. Like, you seen people in football games hit somebody with a helmet after the game. That's why when they have fights, most of the time the football players keep their helmets on, because you seen people get hit over the head with helmets and they get charged with assault with a deadly weapon. That's what that is. It's assault with a deadly weapon. Exactly, Stevie B. That's more of my point is, if you choose to put your hands on somebody, you don't know how they're going to respond. Like, look at all these road rage cases. Somebody run up to somebody's car and that person shoot them. Somebody approach my car and I got my kids in the car. I don't know. I might run them over. You don't know how people are going to respond when you attack somebody. Let's be real. The jury all white, my kid black. They sitting around betting how much they can throw the book at his black ass. But this the thing. This the thing. We in America, right? Everybody all supposed to be, this a God-fearing nation, whatever God you believe in. People go to church on Sunday, pray, talk to the pastor, and get there, and then this is what we talking about. Impulse, what up? They charged him with first-degree murder. It would have never been 7 years for pleading guilty. That's what I'm saying. Like, the whole point is, if Austin Metcalf and his brother and his homeboys, if they would have stomped out Carmelo and he didn't have the knife and he would have died, this would never have been murder one. It would have been manslaughter. It would have been painted as some kids had a fight at a track meet and one kid unfortunately died from his injuries. That's what we would have got this painted as. But it's not being painted that way. I just don't see how the conversations that I have with my child about bullying, that if some people jump you and you defend yourself, that you could get hit with a murder one. That's the conversation. My thought process is, at worst, this is going to be manslaughter. At worst, this is going to be manslaughter. No, they're treating it with murder as if he had a Rambo Bowie knife and he went to school, and as soon as he seen the Metcalf kid, he jumped on him and cut him. That's the way that this sentencing for 35 years feels to me. If they would have came back and said, this is a manslaughter case, 5-year maximum, he finna do 6 months or a year time served, split probation, counseling. We're going to use this as a tool to teach all these kids about bullying and fighting at school. There's going to be a civil case that's going to be thrown at the school board. Lack of institutional control that a coach instructed this boy to start this altercation. Like, things like that. That's what you should, as a decent thinking parent, that's what you should be thinking about. Not 35 years. Definitely not. I'm stubborn. That's my kids defending themselves. Skin color matters, bro. Can't sit and say what's right, but I teach reality. We black, last place you want to be in front of a judge, right or wrong. They throw in the book. But I'm saying, like, I'm having this conversation. I even use skin color in my debate. My debate is not even skin color. That's obvious, bro. We 13, 14, 15 Amendment citizens. What I'm saying is, if you're looking at this as a decent thinking person, what the community has to start doing is the same lawyers that these rappers get, everybody got to get behind it. Like, even my wife was like, didn't they buy a house or do something with the go? I'm like, nah, like, that's the narrative that was put out. Them people was having to move houses like 5-10 times because they was getting death threats. He was somebody outside the jail saying, if he don't go to jail forever, I'm gonna kill him if he walk out. You know what that's like as a parent, dealing with somebody saying, I'm going to snipe your kid if he gets out of jail. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, that's the other element that's put into it, is how the media portrayed it. To not say that these kids was the one suspended. These kids is the one that beat up their daddy and known for fighting. This kid is the exact opposite. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, it's just a bad situation. Now I agree with you, Tom. Under all circumstances, you just, like Ply say, you just got to stay out the courtroom. But in this situation, what is he supposed to do? You won't let me leave. Your intentions is to put hands on me. If I don't do what I did, I'm just gonna get stomped out. So what if Karmelo died trying to fight back against 3 or 4 people and they killed him? We know these kids is not getting murdered. One, they're gonna get manslaughter. I just think it's got to be even across the board. We live in a country where the history is what it is. But when I have these conversations, I don't like to go play the race card because it's too easy to. It's too easy to deal with the race card. Race card is too easy. Let's deal with it in all actuality. Tone, I think if they retry the case and they have some black jurors on the panel, and this is a big enough case that if they get a Brian Steele type of lawyer to defend him, the boy is gonna get out of jail. They tried to send him to the jail where Austin Metcalf's family member is the warden of the jail. Like, come on, bro. You know what's about to happen to the boy if they had to send him to a different correctional facility once they realized they was finna send him to a jail where his family member run the jail. They're gonna try to kill the boy before he get to the case. And he's not the aggressor. I think that's the main thing. If he would have been the aggressor, I'll be like, bro, when you go in looking for shit, that's what you get. But when he's not the aggressor, he's the person defending himself, the person getting jumped. It's just like the All-Star JR situation. All-Star JR is in federal prison with a Fed case for a felon in possession of a firearm because some niggas jumped him at a restaurant, took his chain and his watch, admitted to stealing. Like, we don't even have charges on the people who stole his jewelry. And they know it's on tape that they stole his jewelry, that they took his chain. They brought a gun. The gun hit the floor. He picked the gun up and defended himself. And now he's a felon in possession of a gun that wouldn't even be there if they wasn't robbing him and they didn't drop it. So he's supposed to just lay there, get robbed, get stomped out, and let them shoot him. And we talking about in a stand your ground state. Okay, so if you take skin color out of We Lived in a Perfect World, yeah. But I'm saying, like, how can I teach my child that wrong is wrong and right is right, but not for you? So that's why I asked you in the very beginning. I'll be like way ahead of the conversation. That's why I asked you in the very beginning, as a parent, you sending your child to school, your child come home and said, yo, it's 3 or 4 kids that's really big. They known for putting hands on people. They're messing with me. What do I do, Dad? Your answer was kick them in the nuts. You see what I'm saying? Like, it can't be that. It can't be some kids is bullying my daughter at school and they're gonna beat her up in the bathroom when she goes. Okay, I let a teacher know. There are teachers and coaches at the school who have been, this gonna come out in the civil trial, that texted the kid and it was basically telling them to be more of a leader. So if it's true that one of those coaches text that boy and told him he's talking trash, do something to him, instead of the coach going, the coaches I grew up with and the daddies I grew up with around is finna go snatch everybody up. They're not gonna allow this situation to happen. At the first sign of commotion, they on 10. Like, do y'all remember a few years ago, there was a Birmingham minor high school. You can go Google it. Go Google minor high school One of my family members was a coach at the school where the fight broke out about the band and them cutting the lights off in the rivalry game. He's one of the coaches snatching kids, throwing them away. But this Birmingham, that ends in gunshots. It don't end with a knife or a stick or a rock. Birmingham gonna end in shots. So he's throwing kids out the way, back up, snatching kids. They out there all night. I'm worried about him. You see what I'm saying? Birmingham known for people to shoot at basketball games, football games, pee-wee. So we're not talking about gun violence. We're talking about a knife, a stick, a rock, somebody picking something up, and it just unfortunate it ends this way. But what do you teach your kids if your kids being bullied at school, how to defend themselves if multiple people are jumping on you and you feel like, man, I done watched them choke out somebody, I done watched them stomp somebody out. It ain't gonna be me. If they get me, bro, I'm gonna cut one of them. I'm gonna hit some of them with something. And it just so happened that the kid dies. That's not 35 years, bro. That's not 35 years. He said, what's up, my brother? So they get 35 years, Dom. She, what up? That's the question that should have been asked in the jury if it wasn't asked. But you need a criminal defense lawyer, a big time criminal defense lawyer. Like, you don't need these little civil rights lawyers. You don't need these little public defenders, little regular. You need a heavy hitter that ain't scared to buck the system. She said, you go up to the school and inform the principal. Okay, these two kids we talking about beat their daddy up. They got suspended from school the week before. When Karmelo was in the tent with the same kids the week before, there was no fight. The week they came back, they was coming back off of suspension. They came back off of being suspended from school. Now they done beat their daddy up, broke their daddy's collarbone, come to school fresh off of suspension, and the first thing they do get back is, who this new kid over here? I'm finna whoop his ass. You see what I'm saying? So like, what are we telling the principal? Hey, them two kids you suspended last week threatening to beat my son up. What do you say? You see what I'm saying? This ain't like this is isolated. They known for whooping people. Hating on the Knicks. Man, De'Aaron Fox. Man, that's like when the baseball roll up under the glove. 100% my answer. Defend yourself at all costs. But how do you know it? Like, Tone, just think about what you're saying. It's an oxymoron. Defend yourself at all costs. If you got to pick something up and hit them, if you got to cut, stab, shoot, defend yourself at all costs, but don't kill. You don't control that. Defend yourself at all costs is somebody breaking my house and I shoot them. Man, Lord, please don't let them die. Man, it could be a graze wound and they could die. You seen situations where like the people have done that in those robberies and shot their own homeboy on accident, returning fire. Like, you can't control. You can't say defend yourself at all costs, but don't hurt nobody. Like, that doesn't work. Defend yourself at all costs could be the first person jump on you and you hit him and he fall funny and die. So that don't make sense. Like, the thing that you're saying, I'm saying, look in the mirror and say it to yourself. Defend yourself at all costs. But that might mean that somebody might have great bodily injury. He could have just picked up a chair and swung and hit somebody and they fell funny and died. We talking about a 2-inch stab wound. We're not talking about no multiple crime of passion stab. It could be anything. Chris C, what up? I'm working. My boy got hands and feet, so I wasn't worried. But I'm saying, where I grew up, a person who known to fighting, I've seen people get killed because they known to fight. Like, man, I done seen him beat 20 niggas up. He come at me, I'm finna do XYZ. That's happened. So I'm saying, your son can fight. Nobody gonna fight him fair. He might get jumped. He might get kicked while he down. His head might hit the concrete and he might die from just the fluke accident. That's what you can't control when a fight starts. You can't control what happens to anybody. It could be a regular sanctioned boxing match and somebody could get hit and not wake up. We watched that happen. We seen that in football. You know what I'm saying? We see people die on the court. Somebody have a heart attack and die. Like, you can't control what happens once the fight starts. Overall charge time for first offense as the first case. It's your question personally. I tell my son to defend himself, but take it easy. You know you train. But I'm saying this is the situation where you being jumped. You got to add that element. You keep talking about one-on-one fight. We talking about 4 people jumping you. Your first thought is, I got to get this first one up off me. So that first one jump you. Let's say he knocked the first one out, but the other 2-3 rush him, grab him. They beating on him. He just grabs something and crash one of them and they die. Or he's poke one of them and they die. Like, that's what happened. This ain't a point of like saying whether you can fight or not, because this ain't a one-on-one. This is 4 people jumping on one person in an enclosed space. You ain't out in the open. You can't run if you getting circled. You in a box. This room is like a 15 by 15 room. If 4 of us get you in the room, I don't give a damn how well you can fight. If one of us grab you for just a short period of time, bro, it's up. You gonna be grabbing something trying to hit somebody. That's what happened, Malik. The lawyer they had was a prominent lawyer in Texas. He wasn't a public defender. He wasn't no Brian Steele. Because from what I seen, they had a team of people that originally came around sucking their money up because they froze the GoFundMe. The GoFundMe was $700K. They put the media out that the family was spending money on houses and cars, but that wasn't the case. They was having to move because they was getting death threats. The daddy had to quit his job at Mercedes. I'm saying, like, in this case, this should have been the top of the top. You understand it now, she? Andre, what up? How we doing? We straight. If you train, you do control if you're going to kill. That's the discipline part of being trained. Tone, that sounds like a fairy tale. That sounds like a fairy tale. I could take the most trained person and put them in the room and let 4 or 5 people jump on them. Your training only goes so far. And we talking about not some CIA trained Navy SEAL. We talking about 16, 17-year-old kids in high school. How the hell trained are you at 16, 17 if 4 or 5 people that's really bigger than you jumping you? I know Brian's still $1 million lawyer, but now that this situation happened, now all the little boosters and everybody trying to put the money up. We have to do what they do in the beginning. Man, we got to go get the top of the top. If Shotbybuddha getting $1 million, if Zimmerman getting $1 million, we got to put $1 million on them, and they got to get Brian Steele. If not, this is gonna happen. The brothers is trained MMA fighters. What I say is, like, think about 2 Josh Allens jumping your kid in high school. Your kid 5'6" or 5'7", 140 pounds. These kids is 6'3", 225 pound trained fighters. They've been suspended the week before. They known for putting hands on people. So it's like they broke their daddy collarbone. They beat their daddy up. So I'm saying, like, they whooping grown men. This ain't no normal situation. This somebody who can fight better than you and bigger than you. We have weight classes in boxing for a reason. Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield ain't fighting the featherweights. They ain't fighting 120 pound Zab Judah. Getting in the ring with 3 Evander Holyfields and a Lennox Lewis. Nigga, he could be trained as he want to be. He not finna be trained for 2 Lennox Lewises and 2 Evander Holyfields. He finna get punched out. Definitely failed him, Ronald. That's what I'm saying, Andre. Like, I could aim to shoot you in your leg so I don't kill you and hit an artery. That's the question, though, like, I felt like the deck was stacked against the boy. Like, out the gate, the tape's supposed to leak. I'm leaking the tape. I don't care what's the penalty. I'm leaking the tape. The whole world finna see him sitting down in the chair, the kids blocking the entrance and rushing him. That's gonna be off bails. We're gonna show the video gonna release. He said a black boy getting his murder case reduced to manslaughter in America is not a fair tale. It's not. we watched Young Thug walk free. We watched OJ walk free. It can happen. You just need the right lawyers, brother. You make enough noise, it can happen. Need to appeal with the right lawyer. Shit, there it is. A lot of people didn't know about that at first. They had that lawyer within the first 2 weeks that it happened. That's what I'm saying is like the way this case unfolded, the media painted Karmelo as saying that he got suspended. No, it was the brothers got suspended. They kept saying knife. No, it's a multi-tool. It's a Swiss Army knife. Every kid, those are on keychains in the back. See, people that ain't from the South, if you ain't from Alabama, Mississippi, Texas, Florida, Georgia, you have Swiss Army knives on your backpack as a keychain in the second grade and Boy Scouts and shit. People have this. We're not talking about no big on the hip Rambo shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just have to put this stuff in perspective. And you put it in perspective, you just gotta say like, there's no way you get to 35 years. If he had a lot of money, they initially gave him $700,000 off the GoFundMe, but they froze the GoFundMe because they were saying that the family was buying houses, but they wasn't. The people in the court system had leaked these people address and information. People was going to the daddy job threatening him. People was threatening to harm the family. I had a basketball coach that played 5 black starters in the 10th grade. He got death threats at my school at Henry A. Bradshaw High School in 1998. So I'm saying like that's then. We talking about now. Somebody's threatening the family. They having to move, keep going to different houses because every time somebody find out where they live at, they're getting threats. It's people outside the courthouse saying if he don't get found guilty this week that they was going to blow his head off. All these type of things is a lot of added pressure on top of it that adds a whole different element. So the media had you thinking that this family is living a lavish life with the GoFundMe. In all actuality, it's froze and only people that can get the money is certain lawyers. You see what I'm saying? Like, these are the things that you don't get to see. Like, why is this tape not out? Why is there not more reports from all the other kids that was there? Why have you seen nobody go on TikTok saying, bro, this what really happened? You ain't seen none of that. It just all seemed like a fixed fight. I think if they took this same case and then moved this to the Supreme Court or anywhere else outside of wherever it's at, you don't get 35 years. I think a change of venue was a strategy that should have been used. Didn't see where there was a motion to do so. Andre, it's so many holes and mistakes that made me feel like this is just like set. The Metcalf parents is saying that it's a lose-lose situation, but their kid is not who they painted him to be, and a lot of the case just seem off. It seemed off to anybody that got a functioning brain. That I'm saying as a grown man, if when they jumped him, if he would have died from the fight, just from hands, if they jumped him, I wouldn't have been saying 35 years murder one. I would have been saying, damn, the kids got to fight in school and the kid unfortunately died. Manslaughter, it would have been like a 10-year at worst type of thing. Bro, to take somebody from 17 to they 45, 50, and there's no gun involved and they didn't initiate the situation, they were fighting back. Because this is the point of saying about the knife and the cutting. If they never intended to come jump him, nobody gets hurt. Because when they initially came at him, he's sitting down. He don't even get up. And people saying, well, the kids told him to leave the tent. He should have left. Like, he was there the last week and nobody made him leave. Nobody had a problem with it. Those kids had a problem with it. Okay, man, he should have did this. Okay, when he got up to leave, they didn't let him leave. They want to fight. So now if your kid goes to the bus and some bully say, hey, get your little stupid ass up and go to the back of the bus, you gonna tell your kid, man, we don't want no problems, man, just get up and get your seat up. Hey man, if you at the lunch table and the kid tell you they're gonna hit you over the head with their lunch tray if you don't get up, son, you don't want no fight, just get up and let them have the seat. You gonna eat your cornbread? I know none of y'all teaching y'all sons to let nobody take their cornbread. So this is the situation. You tell your son to be a man and fight back. Somebody gonna jump you. Do what you got to do at all costs to defend yourself. He did what he did at all costs. I don't think that ends in 30 or 35-year prison sentence. A 35-year prison sentence is somebody breaking somebody's house. They tie him up and shoot him, and they kill him execution style. Somebody do a drive-by, or you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just confused at how the law works right now, because we talking about one of the original stand your ground states like Texas, and then watching the All-Star JR case, you get robbed for your chain, you getting jumped by 7 or 8 people, they take your watch and your chain off, and a gun hit the ground, you pick it up and shoot them, you drop the gun, leave and go home, and you get a Fed case for felon in possession of a firearm. What you supposed to do? Like, I'm gonna try to fight these 10 niggas off, but the gun that they brought to shoot me with failed. I'm not gonna pick it up and shoot. I'm gonna let them pick the gun back up and shoot me and hit me with the gun. Like, I'm confused at where we at. That's what I'm saying, they chased the boy down the street. And from what I've known in self-defense cases is if the person turns to run away and you shoot them in their back, or you shoot them fleeing while they're leaving the scene, they consider that as your mind has had time to understand that this person is no longer a threat to me. The Chud gonna get 2 years. Then he steal the water. The thing about Chud is, like, Chud has the premeditation. He shot himself and the other person, and he shot outside a courtroom. So if anybody know about a gun and occupied dwelling, like, you got a gun on the courthouse steps. You know what I'm saying? I'm all for people being able to carry and have their guns or do whatever they're gonna do, but like, his situation has more of a premeditation to it, and he's not a kid. These are adults. You see what I'm saying? We're gonna give more leeway to an adult than a high school kid, and that's a gun. That ain't Chud macing the dude and hitting the dude with a baton or a stick. That's him shooting himself and shooting the guy outside of a courthouse. 2 people got shot and he shot himself. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. He sat in the chair and never got up. So it's like, if they just leave him alone, what they should have did is just went and got a coach to deal with the situation, but they didn't, because they don't respect the coach. They just gonna do what they want to do. Rabbit, what up? But we can't just accept that, Rabbit. Like, we just can't accept that, bro. Like, not going. But man, it's been a great conversation. That's been an hour, man. We spent on this situation. Great conversation. I want to see what y'all thought. I wanted to have a little dialogue, a little back and forth. Y'all will see me again soon. I want to take a bigger break as I did this time, but hey, listen, man. Hope y'all having a great day, man. Drink water, exercise, pray a little bit. God first in the chat, y'all. Y'all know what time it is. Hit that subscribe, like, comment, share. Tap into the daily uploads at 7 a.m. Central Standard Time. If you missed the live streams, you got picture in picture. And if I don't get to any questions during the live streams or the pause, drop them in the comments. I'll make it part of the weekly mailbag. If you're following on the blue, smash those reactions. I know you're OG. Hit that like, comment, share, tap into the daily content that is the shop. If you're new to the shop, you definitely should be tapped in on the green. No ads, up to 50 emotes free for just being a follower. You do not have to be a supporter to unlock picture in picture, late night streams. Follow us on Kick. We also live on Twitch. Look out for the drops, as well as if you have Amazon Prime, it's free $99 to sub to the channel once a month. Don't let Jeff Bezos stick that money back in his pocket. If you don't use it on the shop, use it on another content creator that you like. I still call it Twitter, but follow us on X. We tweet back. Yo, if you missed the daily shop talks, make sure you tap in for the late night cap on the purple and the green. The Discord is always open. Outside of subs, donos, and cash apps, there's also another way to support the content. That's by grabbing a trucker hat, a bandana, hoodies, classic barbershop, Vibe Nation, right out of the official merch store on Tactic, formerly known as Geeks Unleashed. code Buddha at checkout to get a discount.